Yeah, I'll do that. Sherry, you'll have to do.
I'm still not able to record.
He will make you co-host, Swaminiji. Just yeah.
No.
Yes,
co-host?
Swaminiji, I have just made you the host.
Yeah, but the thing is that we'll stop any recording that you have when I turn the recording on.
No, it won't.
No, it won't.
It won't? Okay.
Yes.
All right. If that's the case, then it's okay.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. A very warm welcome to the third day of this Moksha Marathon, as Swaminiji called it yesterday, on Atma Vidya Vilasa of Sadashiva Brahmendra. Very warm welcome to Swaminiji again for this third and the last day of the session. We are very grateful to you for doing these sessions. Before we begin, let me start with a small prayer. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavatyapta Dehaya Shri Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Bharati Karuna Patram Bharati Padabhushanam Bharati Padamarudham Bharati Tirthamashraye Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vitaragam Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tatvagyam Vidushekara Bharati Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Swamiji, please go ahead.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, back to the Moksha Marathon, and let's see where we are here. Just to recap what we have been studying thus far, and yesterday we saw a few things. What did we see? We saw how the jnani, yogi, whatever you want to say, the person of self-knowledge who does not have, who is free of all limitations, especially emotional problems such as sorrow, pain, and wrong thinking. How does that person move around in the world? And we saw that there is a we saw, and I said that such kind of people that is described in this 18th century text are probably an endangered, if not an extinct species. Why? Because the world is moving in a different direction, right? World is not in this way, and there is very little value given to a lifestyle that is simple. We have made our lives extremely complicated, and we continue to make our lives extremely complicated. And then also we search for comfortable situations. Nothing wrong, but then the idea is not to live like a poor person, even though we are seeing that in these verses. The idea is not to live as though one is in poverty. That's not the point. The idea is to be unmindful of one's circumstances. And number one. And number two, the idea also is to be unaffected by whatever comes and whatever goes. So if one is in a time of adversity and all that is there to eat is just some roots and fruits, one is okay with that. One is okay with eating roots and fruits, and one is fine with that. And if the next day one is invited to a banquet, one is fine with that also. That is the idea. It's not that the person is choosing to sleep on the ground. We saw various places of sleeping. First was the bed, bed of sand. Sleeping in the bed of sand was the first one. And what was the second one? Sleeping on the floor was the second one. Sleeping on a stone slab. And then all these things we have seen. Now, the point is to not look, I want to be like the jnani, and so I'm going to look for a custom made slab of granite to get and sleep on. That's not the idea. The idea is that two things. The one we have already discussed. One is unmindful of one's circumstances. Whatever is there, one is okay with. That is the idea. That is the first idea. The second idea is that sometimes in searching for comfort, one compromises a lot in searching for comfort. One compromises sometimes one's values and one's ethics also. Or one sometimes, even if values are not compromised, one gets into a codependent or a dysfunctional relationship with others. So if I want a soft bed, and then supposing somebody wants a soft bed, memory foam mattress, and all kinds of things. What is that called? Sleep number mattress. There is one thing. So for the legs you can have hard, for the back you can have soft. Like this, there is a remote control. You can do that. So supposing somebody wants that, and then somebody happens to have renounced everything for the sake of this knowledge, but still one wants that, then what do you have to do? You have to go and ask somebody to, please give me this, please give me this thing, and let me have this. And then they say, okay, I'll give you this, no problem. And so they buy this expensive mattress for you. But then after that, what happens in the head and in the heart? There is a sense of obligation. OMG, they have got me this big thing. Now I have to do something for them. And then because of this, I have to be a certain way. And then it's because the whole world goes on this I scratch your back, you scratch my back philosophy. But that doesn't work with a sannyasi. So therefore the sannyasi is advised not to be in a kind of a compromising situation where one's own values, ethics, and independence is compromised because one has become a slave of a soft mattress or of good food. A foodie swami, or somebody who wants somebody who's used to certain comfort. And we have seen some people like that. So most of them are what are they called? Self-styled God men, God women, etc. And they take everybody, they take the whole congregation for a spin, for a ride, really speaking. And we have seen the costs of that. So sannyasi means the person is independent. And if anybody wants to give the sannyasi anything, it is on them. It is they give for their own sake. They do not give to expect something in return. And so that is how it should be. And so the sannyasi should be free of these kinds of obligations. Oh, you gave me 5-star dinner last week, and so because of that, now I have to be nice to you. And no such thing. You gave a big donation to the ashram, and so therefore I will keep you by my side, and I will do this for you. All that does not exist, and that is why the yogi here is depicted under extreme circumstances. It's like a wake-up call. So wherever there is, you can make a bed of anything, really. And if one is in desperate situations, let's say one is running away from in some kind of a war-torn country. We saw this in, year and a half ago in Afghanistan when everybody was fleeing. And we see this in Ukraine, etc., etc. So in a war-torn country, let's say the house is bombed and the whole family has to go underneath somewhere underground where they are not shelled down. So then they are so grateful they survived the bombing. They are together, that's all they want. And then they happily sleep on the floor, no problem, they sleep on the ground. And of course, it's not the best of circumstances, but in the light of the desperate circumstances, the desperate measures of sleeping on the floor and eating out of a garbage can, etc., they are warranted. They are definitely warranted. And so, therefore, the idea is not that the person has taken a vow of poverty. We don't have a vow of poverty at all. We have ahimsa. Ahimsa means non-disturbance. That's what it is. Non-violence, non-disturbance. And so you don't disturb anything and anybody. And so for you to sleep, you don't need 100 people giving you things, one person fanning you. Because we have Ishvara fan in the form of the breezes that come. Sometimes the fan is hot because it is summer. It's a hot fan. Sometimes it's a too cold a fan, but there is a fan. And that fan is much more dependable, and it is best to depend on that fan rather than to be a fan of somebody who is going to give you a fan. Okay, and so the yogi is past all this fanfare, and the yogi is independent. That is the idea, completely independent of being. The person shuns comfort only because the person who is giving the comfort, then there might be, even in the heart, some kind of a obligation, some kind of a, they have done so much for me, I should do something for them because they will expect it. All this kind of a dysfunctional ties are cut aside, are torn aside, and the yogi, that's why he's called Yogi Raj, Yogi Raj. Why? Because he is the king among the yogis, because he's not beholden, she is not beholden to anybody. That is the idea. So then, without much ado, let us go on a race right now and then see where we are in the text. I'm going to share the text so we can all enjoy it together. Hope you are everybody is able to see this. Okay. Yeah. So 45 we did yesterday, 45th verse, appearing like a log of wood. No, we didn't do 45. 44 we did, yeah. So the yogi is not really entertaining anybody or interacting with anybody much, and people mistake the yogi to be almost non-existent because the person is not drawing any attention to themselves. That is the idea. Okay, let's see verse number 45. Jatyabhimanavihīnah jantushu sarvatra purnataṁ pasyan gūಢam charati yatīndrah mūಢavadakhilāgamartha tattvajñah. Akhilagama artha tattvajño api mūಢavat gūಢam charati yatīndrah. So this is how does the ascetic, the king of ascetics, the king of mendicants, meaning the one for whom this knowledge is firmly established in the heart, that I am one with everything, nothing is separate from me. So how does that person move in the world? Jati abhimana vihina. Jati means there is some kind of a lineage. And so, I belong to this great lineage. Iti, this kind of an identification, not there. I am from the Paramahamsa lineage. I belong to Sringeri Acharya lineage. All this is not there. I am a Dandi. Dandi Swami means the Swami who carries a stick. It's very interesting why they carry the stick. The stick is the ahankara. In the morning class, we talked a lot about the ego. So what they do is they give their I-ness to that stick. So they make the stick the ahankara, the ego. And why should the stick be the ahankara? So that it doesn't stick to me. That's why. So the stick is the ahankara and the stick is kept aside. So the idea is I am not the doer. So they carry the stick everywhere. And it also helps as a walking stick as they grow older. So then so the whole idea of having the stick is not to be egotistical, but then if you say, I am a Dandi, I am a stick Swami, stick carrying Swami, see, I have no ego at all. What is this? When you say I have no ego at all, that means it's the ego that is saying you're being egotistical about not having an ego. It is just too much. And so therefore, jatyabhimana vihinaha. So the vihinaha means devoid of this kind of a pride or some kind of a conceit with regard to one's own lineage, one's own antecedents. And then people like to talk about this even after gaining sannyasa. Before I was a sannyasi, I was a great entrepreneur. In fact, I was the CEO of such and such a company. I gave everything up. And look, now I'm a sannyasi. And do you know how many people I employed in my company? Half of the town was employed by my company. So this is also some kind of abhimana. Abhimana here, identification, a conceitful identification with the past, with some aspect of oneself, or even, the lineage means of the future also. Do you know how many students I have? And then the modern contemporary version of this is, do you know how many people follow me on Twitter? I have 7 million followers on Twitter. This is the idea. I have so many people liking me on Facebook. I have so many likes on Facebook. And this is how people keep counting followers. So lineage means where you have come from, your antecedents, and your antecedents and are also included. And then who is going to come later on, that is also included. So then who is going to come later on? Look at all these people I have ordained. These are my students. Look at how many students I have. This is all a kind of a boasting. And because of that boasting, one is not one can clearly see that one has still to grow in the knowledge. So then how do they see the people? Jantushu purnatam pashyan. Jantushu means among all the beings, not just human beings, all the beings, sarvatra, everywhere. Purnatam pashyam. Pasyan, seeing only the fullness of Brahman, seeing only the Ananda in everything, seeing the limitlessness of everything, seeing Ishvara in everything. That is Purnata. So that fullness alone one is seeing in everything. One sees everything as an extension of Brahman, an extension of oneself, an extension of Ishvara. The Ishvara is the whole universe and see God everything and everywhere, even in beings that are inimical to them. There is a story of Adi Shankaracharya. One kind of a deranged fellow was there, kind of a demon, demonic deranged fellow who came and who said, you're a big guru and everything, and you have so many bodyguards, because Adi Shankara had 4 students who were taking care of him. You have so many bodyguards. And Adi Shankara said, is there a problem with that? Yeah. Why? Because I want to eat you. Simple. I'm a cannibal. Yeah, I like to eat people. And I have told you are always on a healthy diet and you meditate so much. And I want to eat healthy. So if I eat you, I'll be eating sattvic food. I will be having sattvic food. And so you have to help me. Because whenever I come to eat you, this Padmapada, one of the disciples who was very, very protective of Adi Shankara, this Padmapada is always there. And Adi Shankara says, yeah, I know, that's a problem. But I can tell you, Padmapada goes for his bath from 5 to 6 a.m. and then again from 6 to 7 p.m. So at the afternoon bath also he told 3 times a day bathing. So afternoon bath also he gave the time. So you come at any of these times convenient to you. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I will be there. I will be sitting here only, or I'll be sitting there. It doesn't matter. I'll be sitting on the river bank, or I'll be sitting here on top of this hillock where you have found me today. And then you just don't come when Padmapada is there. When Padmapada is there, if you come, then you will definitely not get to eat healthy sattvic food in the form of me. So you come when he is not there. Think of that. So think of, and of course, to complete the story, because it's not fun to leave it half. Even in Moksha Marathon, we have to complete the stories. So to complete the story, what happens is he comes when when Padmapada is not there. He comes. But then Padmapada has already smelt something fishy. He has seen a red herring somewhere, and then Padmapada pretends to go for bath and hides in the bushes. And then he sees this fellow ready with his fork and knife and a little napkin tied to his neck. This demon coming, slurping and licking his lips. And Padmapada pounces on him and makes short shrift of him. And that was the last we see of him. This is all there in Swami Vidyaranya's biography of Adi Shankara called Shankara Vijaya. Very nice story. So you see, he sees even in that demon who wants to eat him, who is so inimical, he sees Ishvara, and his life is so dedicated to the universal laws that he is completely at rest without any fear. That if a monster is supposed to eat me and that's how I meet the end, okay, somehow I have to die. So if this is the death, it will happen. And if it is not meant to happen, it will never happen. That is the trust in the universe, and that is the trust in the universal laws, which is and seeing everything as Ishvara, and seeing that the demon has made a wonderful case, and saying yes, he wants to eat healthy. Poor thing, let him have some sattvic food, no problem. And so like this is what we are talking of. This is the caliber of the ascetic. And so right now, I cannot name anybody, contemporary, I'm saying. And it doesn't mean they're not there. They are there, but we have to go find them. And they don't want to be found. Why? Gudham charati. They are moving around unnoticed. They are smearing themselves with dirt. Unnoticed, they are moving around. And so then, Gudham charati yatindraha. And how are they moving? They are unnoticed. Why? Because they are in hiding. They are not advertising themselves. So, akhilagamartha tattvajnaha api. Akhilagama means the entire Vedas, including Vedanta. Think about the whole compendium of Rig Veda. Rig Veda itself takes so many days to chant. Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda, and all the Vedangas, everything, the whole compendium of the primary scriptures along with the Artha. It's one thing to memorize it, but many people do that. You will find pandits even in contemporary India who can rattle off the mantras of the Vedas, but they will not know the meaning. Here is a person who knows the meaning, who knows all the Vedas, and then Tattvajnaha and their essence. Tattva, I explained yesterday. Tattva means the essence of the Vedas. That everything is Brahman, everything they know how to assimilate it, they know how to teach it, they know meditation, they know sadhana, they know all the practices, they know everything. And then what? They are not, they are behaving as though they are an ignorant person. Moodhavat acharati. Moodhavat charati. Charati means acharati, behaves. Moodham, this is how they are secret. Because they will never advertise themselves. Imagine if a person knew all the Vedas, they will not sit quiet. They will do Veda dropping in every conversation. Even if the conversation is about the weather, they will just somehow bring in their knowledge. You know, the Veda discusses the weather, they will say. They will bring in the knowledge. And then, even if you talk about the weather, they will bring in whatever they know, they will steer the conversation back to the Vedas, and you are wondering, contemplating on whether they really know or not. So, if they really know, they will not keep talking about it. That's the idea. And it takes a lot of fortitude, courage, and it takes a lot of inner security to know everything and yet not keep on advertising and intervening in every conversation and showing off ever so slightly. Sometimes you don't think you're showing off, you think you're being helpful, but then the jnani is not even trying to help. The Jnani knows Bhagavan will help. It is there, whoever wants will get everything, and there is no pressure to show off. And then, in fact, one is afraid of being found out as knowing everything. And so, therefore, one just acts like slightly dull. Have you heard of the Veda? Somebody asks at a party, do you know Rig Veda? Rig Veda. Yeah. Yeah. I know Rig Veda, I have studied. Oh, good, very wonderful. Very nice that you have studied. This is how they will just bless and move on. And for us also, it's time to move on. Okay? So this is the demeanor of the sannyasi here, the caliber of the sannyasi being talked about. Then, let's see if I have left anything in. We've covered all the words. Yes, Jatya Bhimana Vihinha Jantushu. Yeah, we have done that. Okay. Upadhaya Bahumulam Paridhaya Akasham Avanim Astirya. Avanim Astirya. Yeah. Upadhaya Bahumulam Paridhaya Akasham Avanim Astirya Prasvapiti Virati Vanitam Parirabhyananda Paravashah Kopi. Upadhaya, placing. Placing what? Bahu Moolam, the root of the arm. What is the root of the arm? Shoulder. This is the root of the arm. So placing the shoulder. Praswapiti, sleeps nicely. Prakarshena swapiti, sleeps very nicely, placing the shoulder. Placing the shoulder where? under the head. The shoulder is the pillow for whom? This is the person. So placing the shoulder where? As a pillow for the head. And then paridhaya akasham. Paridhaya means covering. Covering is what? What is the comforter? Duvet. What is the duvet? What is the comforter? The sky is the comforter. And then astirya, spreading the ground. The ground is the bed. So it's like a rolled up mattress that you spread out. So you spread the ground as the mattress and you pull up the akasha as your comforter. This is what it is. Very beautiful. This is all very poetic. Prasvapiti, sleeps. And then, it's hard to sleep alone. Who is he sleeping with? He's sleeping with a beautiful lady. Oh my God, really? What's her name? Virati means vairagya, dispassion. And how is he sleeping? Parirabhya. He is catching hold of her tightly, embracing the damsel of dispassion. He is catching hold of her tightly and sleeping. Kopi, some person. Yeah. And purposefully it is made anonymous because he doesn't want to say this is who I am. So he's making it anonymous. So it's very interesting. So here is an example of the yati who is sleeping, embracing vairagya, embracing dispassion. Embracing dispassion, ananda paravashaha, completely in the spell of one's own ananda, swananda. In the spell of endless joy, the person is experiencing endless joy, embracing tightly. What is that? Dispassion, asanga, vairagya. Very nice, poetic. Not much else to say about that. So we'll move on to the next one. गतभेदवासनाभिः स्वप्रज्ञोदारवार नारिभिः रमते सह यतिराज स्त्रियन्तान्तः पुरे कोऽपि. So this is little more involved. The same idea, okay? The same idea, trying to make a play of this embracing of women, etc. Even though the sannyasi is supposed to be celibate, so what will be these so-called women? And here the women or the sleeping partner is actually all these values such as the vairagya, viveka, etc. So gata bheda vasanabhihi. So gata means the one from whom all the notions of high, low, and up, down, rich, poor, bheda, differences have departed. And from whom all the vasanas, even the whiff of a difference, Veda vasana, even the whiff of a difference, all the vasanas connected to the difference, means certain prejudices and orientations. We look upon people in a certain way. Oh, this one must be homeless. Oh, I have to clutch my bag harder because I'm passing this person. Oh, this one must be very well equipped and well endowed. Let me say hello. And I should befriend this person, I should keep this person at bay. This kind of a thinking is not there at all for the person. And then, so gata bheda vasana bhihi, and then so such a person, by this kind of a demeanor, swaprajna udara vara naribhihi. Swaprajna udaravara naribhi. Difficult to translate word by word, but the gist of it we can understand here. Swaprajna means one's own knowledge. The knowledge of that oneness. That oneness that I am one with everything. This knowledge are the women. The knowledge in the form of this, the knowledge in the form of women. So the Upanishads are the women, because he is here, the person, the Yati, is talked about as Vyatiraj, the king of the Yatis. So there is a little pun, because if you take the ancient kings, they always had a one main queen, and then they had a lot of other wives and courtesans. And where were all these people? They were in the women's quarters, because they needed to be kept safely. So they were in the women's quarters, where very few people would go, and other men were not allowed to go. Only other women would serve them. So this was called Antafpura. Pura means like a city, but actually here it's not a city, it's a quarter. So Antafpura means the inner quarters, and that was like a metaphor for the where the women stayed. And only elderly people, like some elderly minister or some elderly person, was allowed to go, but not anybody else. Men were not allowed at all. And so this, there is a pun on the word Antafpura. So Antafpura means inner quarters, and of the palace where the women are kept. Here what? Here the Antafpura is what? The heart. The heart is the Antafpura. My inner, the inner apartments, the inner house. The inner house where I am housing all these beautiful women. I'm housing all these women, these lovely women. And who are the women? The knowledge of the Upanishads. All the Mahavakyas, each of them are wonderful partners for life. So these are all life partners. And then the sannyasi says, don't ask me to choose. Each one is very dear. Kena, come here. Let me embrace your verses. Yeah. Oh, Kathopanishad, don't go far away. You're next. And then Mandukya, what would I do without you? Mundaka, here I come. Don't go away. Don't be elusive. So, like this, the one who is cohabiting with the knowledge of the Upanishads. It's not the text of the Upanishad, it's the knowledge that is contained therein, which has been totally and fully and completely assimilated, internalized, and the inner quarter is the heart. So it is a knowledge that has gone from the head to the heart, percolated and touched and opened the heart, which is where the life partners in the form of the Upanishads are there. And what does the sannyasi do? Tena saha, saha, not tena, tabhihi saha ramate. Sports with all of them, plays with all of them. Plays with all, plays with the Upanishad, meaning the words in the Upanishad. Plays with means dwells upon the words of the Upanishad as oneself. So attains oneness with the knowledge of the Upanishad. And the knowledge of the Upanishads here are depicted as so many women. Like the king has so many women, and the king is greedy, and one day he wants one woman, and another day he wants another woman, and the third day he wants oneness with the third woman. And so here that is kind of juxtaposed to the life of the sannyasi, where the sannyasi has so many Upanishads, all of them kept securely in the heart, in the Antafpura of the heart, where they are safe. They will not go away from there. And then the Yatiraj plays with all of them. That is the very nice, wonderful, very, very wonderful metaphors here. So Ramate Saha Yatirashriyam Antafpure Kopi. Okay, and next one. Vairagya Vipulamargam Vijnanodama Deepakoddeeptam Aruhya Tattvaharmyam Muktya Sahamodate Yatirat. Another kind of a this metaphor. So let's say it's just like a person who is married. So here the yati is married to the shastra, but let's say an ordinary person who is married, what will they do? They will say, now we need to buy a house. And then what should we do? We should buy a house. And then what should we have? A nice house, and they have a dream house. And what is the dream house? It will have a right royal driveway. It will have a lovely driveway leading up to all these things. It will have a nice driveway leading up to the mansion, lovely house we have to invest in. And then it should be well lit. The driveway and the house should be well lit. This is what it is. And then we will rejoice in this house. And the house should be nice and big. We should be able to dance in every room. So we are going to dance and do this. This is the dream of an ordinary person. An ordinary person dreams like this. Oh, first, I'll get married. And then what will I do? I will invest in a nice house so that we can live together. How? Happily ever after, which is a big, which is a big lie, really. We won't have fights or what. And half the marriages end in divorces anyway. And so therefore, this is happily ever after is just in the fairy tale. So this is what everybody wants. I want a fairy tale ending. I just want a fairy tale ending. So fairy tale ending means what? I'll just have this fairy tale ending, and I will just be like this because I don't want any pain, I don't want any disappointment, I don't want any sorrow. How is this realistic? So even if you're living by yourself, you will have pain, disappointment, and sorrow. If you're living with somebody else, you will have double the pain, disappointment, and sorrow because you love them, and each time they suffer, you feel like you are also suffering. Correct? Yeah, so therefore, so here, what is so now, how does the sannyasi's dream house and the dream driveway look like? Vairagya Vipula Margam. The driveway is paved with the stones of dispassion. A huge, Vipula means big, big path of Vairagya, means non-wanting. Vairagya is non-wanting. Vairagya is giving up, or the giving up the force and the pressure of the desires to make oneself into something or the other. Giving up that pressure, that is Vairagya. Giving up all the things that one depends on for one's happiness, giving that up. And until one gives that up, that happiness, which is my own nature, will not surface, will not come out, because you're constantly engaging in small fixes. You're dealing with a fixer upper. It's just like those people who flip houses. They buy a fixer upper, meaning only nothing else is there except the roof and the floor and the walls, and everything has to be gutted and then put together again. And so, like this, this is how the fixer upper is done, and then they sell it and whatnot. But here, the vairagya means that all the things one depends on for one's happiness is immediately dropped, is immediately given up, is immediately made completely. It is immediately made unnecessary, totally unnecessary. So then. So that is the broad path, the big path leading to the mansion. Ayo, now what will the mansion be like? No, before we discuss the mansion, we are trying to tell you that we are the real estate agent who is trying to sell you this house, and then we are showing you things along the way. Look, the driveway is illuminated on both sides by solar lamps. You will not have any bill. The sun will pay the bill, the realtor is telling. Here, the sun of knowledge, that is the lamps that power the driveway. Vijnanoddama Deepika Uddiptam. Well illumined path, because the Vairagya is very clear. The Vairagya, it shows off the path, meaning it shows off the Vairagya, the well-illumined path of dispassion. And where does the path of dispassion lead? It leads to the Tattva Harmya. Harmya means mansion. The mansion of oneness. Tattva means the mansion of knowledge. The mansion of the essence of the Upanishad, the teaching of the Upanishad, which is oneness. Aruhya, having ascended, having gone inside, having ascended the steps to this Tattva Harmya, Tattva mansion, then the Yati and his partner, whose name is Mukti. Mukti means liberation. It happens to be feminine, so there's a lot of word play. So Yati and Mukti are dancing, cha 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 cha, meaning Yati is enjoying the liberation after having illumined the path, the spiritual path, with the light of knowledge and the pathway of Vairagya. The pathway of Vairagya, lit by the light of the knowledge of the Upanishad, leads to the mansion of oneness, where one can dance with the damsel of liberation. That is just very poetic, very nice. Then what else do we have? This one is very nice. Vijanathalotpalamalam Vainata Vaitrishnyakalpavallincha Apamanamritagutikam Atmajnah Kopi Grihnati. Vijanatala Utpalamala. So then the question may arise, if I look at this sage, what will I see? What will I see? How to recognize this sage? Oh, the sage will be wearing a lotus garland, a garland made of fresh lotuses. Oh, that's easy. I can do that. What else? Tell me one more thing. The sage will also be governed by creepers, a thorn of what is that? A crown of creepers, and the creepers are just all over. Like sometimes there is nice flowering creepers. Oh, that's nice. Lotus mala and adorned by flowering creepers. And the sage is very health conscious. And you will see the sage taking a daily vitamin, one a day. Pill popping pandit, this is okay. So one a day. So the sage is popping a pill, and then that is how you will recognize the sage. Oh, this is very intriguing. Let me look. Lotus mala, anybody? adorned by creepers, anybody? And then what else? Anybody who is taking a pill every day for the sake of longevity and health. One a day. Vitamins, amino acids, and B complex, all these things are included in that. Extra B complex, or iron, everything is there. And so, if you keep looking like this, you will look like this forever. Because each one is rife with the symbolism. So, Vijanatala Utpala Mala. So, the lotus mala, each lotus implies the desire for a deserted place. So, the desire for the deserted place is the lotus mala, which the ascetic adorns around the neck. Vanita Vaitrishna Kalpavalli. So this the Valli, Kalpavalli means the wish yielding creeper. The wish yield, there is one Kalpavalli. Kalpataru is also there. Kalpavalli is also there. Kalpavalli is a pun because there was in ancient times a wish giving creeper, and then Kalpavalli is a pun because it is also a medicine. It's a medicinal herb. Kalpavalli. Ayurvedic medicinal herb, and it's a particular kind, some kind of a creeper, the leaves of which are medicinal. And so what is this Kalpavalli that one is wearing? One is wearing Vanita Vaitrishna. Vaitrishnya means Vaitrishnyam means the freedom from longing of what? Vanita, women. Yeah. So there are no sexual urges needing to be satiated, for which one is looking for some people, and neither is there emotional urges for companionship. Where there is loneliness, I have to fill something up. Emotional urges and emotional needs are not there, and then the physical needs are also not there. One has grown out of it because one has understood that these needs are as a result of not understanding that I'm already full and free. That is what it is. So Vaitrishnya Kalpavalli. So the creeper of detachment, the creeper of non-attachment, the creeper of what is that? Non-wanting, non-longing for anybody to to fill up my life. No life partner, all these things. And then what is the pill popping sannyasi? And then apamana amrita gutika. Gutika means pill. Ayurvedic preparation in the form of a pill. We have gutika, we have kashaya, and then we have what else? We have gutika, kashaya, arishta, and then some, arishta usually has some alcohol, fermented, like alcohol kind of a preparation. And then we have certain lekhyas, things that are to be licked, like chavana prash is a lekhya, sticky thing, gooey, sticky things we have. So like this is gutika. Gutika means a small pill, a capsule. And what is the capsule? Apamana Amrita Gutika. Amrita Gutika. It's a longevity capsule. It is a death-defying capsule. What is that? Apamana, dishonor. Dishonor by whom? People who don't recognize them, who don't recognize their greatness, or who misunderstand who they are. They misunderstand these greatest of ascetics, and they heap them with all kinds of dishonor and abuse. And what do they say? They say, oh, this is my longevity vitamin, one a day vitamin pill, glug, glug, glug. They chase it down with a glass of water. Any dishonor that comes, they do not let it get to them. They swallow it. Swallow it means what? They don't talk back. Because if somebody abuses you, it is their problem, not your problem. Please understand this. It is their problem. And because they are having certain issues. Oh, what if it is my mistake? If it is your mistake, that is something you can sit down quietly, contemplate upon, apologize, learn something new and move on. Learn something new about yourself and move on. But if it is, if they just come out of the blue and yell at you and scream at you for no reason at all, then it is their problem. It's their problem. So the yati does not swallows it, means does not give it the time of day. Does not give it. Does not retaliate. That's the idea. Does not retaliate, and is able to be free of being afflicted or affected by the dishonor. So the idea here, what is the thing is that how do I find this kind of a sage? Look in places where nobody frequents, and look for somebody who's not dependent on anybody else, and look for somebody who takes dishonor and honor with the same cheerfulness. That is the kind of person we are talking about. The next one. न निषेधति दोषधिया गुणबुद्ध्या वा न किञ्चिदादत्ते आविद्यकम् अखिलमिति ज्ञात्वा ज्ञात्वोदास्ते मुनिः कोऽपि. So, न निषेधति does not negate. Does not negate means does not reject. Does not reject means does not criticize. Doshadhiya. Doshadhiya means with the kind of demeanor that is a fault-finding demeanor. Usually, people in the world have a fault-finding demeanor, a critical demeanor, which is what brings one to Vedanta. Because one criticizes oneself, one criticizes another, one criticizes the whole universe. This is what it is. So one brings forth a critical demeanor, a very critical demeanor of oneself and others, which the sannyasi does not have. This kind of a sage does not have. Na doshadhiya, with this critical buddhi, does not negate anything, does not reject anything or anybody. Guna buddhyava, or having some kind of a uh, positive transference on things, does not accept things or because, oh, this person is saying it, that must be the truth because I like this person. No, is very, very objective. That is the idea. And then avidyakam akhilam. Avidyakam means avidyaya bhavam. So, so that avidyayaha bhavam, so that which is born of avidya. Avidyayaha bhavam avidyakam. That which is, it is all born of ignorance. What is born of ignorance? This is good, this is bad. The notion is a product of ignorance. This person is they valued by society, so I also should value them, product of ignorance. And this person is an idiot, product of ignorance. So then akhilam, all these notions come and go, and they are the product of ignorance. Iti jnatva, iti jnatva. And then knowing this, udaste munihi kopi is impartial, is udasinaha, indifferent. Yeah, this is all. There is a lot of connections to the Bhagavad Gita with these verses, and we'll point out some of them in the next class. So let me stop sharing this, and then let us take a short break, 5-minute break, and then we'll be back for the rest of the session. Om Tat Sat. Welcome back again for the next hour of this text. So we will move forward. So we have to look at this particular thing a little more. 50th verse, I think. A little more immersion in that is warranted. Na nishedhati doshadhiya. Meaning doshadhi and gunadhi. These are two kinds of demeanors. Doshadhi is the one that is always questioning, critical. Why this? Why that? How come? Distrustful. That is doshadhi. Critical of oneself and then critical of. So there is a critical lens, distrustful lens. This is on one end of the continuum. Everybody knows what this is. I don't need to explain because everybody has this. And in fact, as I said, this being sick of this is what brings one to Vedanta Shastra. All right. And then there is Gunadhi. Gunadhi means the Guna Buddhi. Guna Buddhi means that because of which everything looks wonderful. And so which one should I adopt? Should I be a doshadhi or should I be a gunadhi? Well, you should be neither. This is the idea. Because each one is not objective. So there are two kinds of, what is that called? Adhyasa. Adhyasa means a superimposition, a projection of one's own desires, prejudices and preferences, and that prejudice and preference is powerfully put on the universe. So when the prejudices are superimposed on everything that I look at, everything looks very suspicious. So, and this everybody has experienced. When one is in a bad mood, anything you see, you don't feel like smiling, you don't feel like looking at, and everything looks gloomy because one's demeanor is not very happy. Everything looks gloomy, everything looks upsetting, everything looks painful. This is what it is. Number one. Number two, on the other side, let's say, what is that? Somebody is in a good mood. They have, quote unquote, fallen in love. There's one song also. I'm on the top of the world because you are in my life. That's not how the lyrics go, but you get the idea. I'm on the top of the world is there. That is part of the lyrics, but the rest of it I'm just extrapolating. So I'm on the top of the world. Why? Because of you. And how long will this last? The next 2-3 months. Bas, that's it. After that, back to doshadhi, back to criticizing everything, everybody, when all the time. So this is the yo-yo life. One time praising to the skies certain things and people and situations. Sometimes the world looks wonderful, and sometimes the world looks gloomy, dreary. Both of these are personal projections. One is called the positive projection, where I see more than what there is in a situation, in a person, in an event, is called Shobhana Adhyasa. Adhyasa, projection, Shobhana, beautiful. So I have a beautiful projection. That's why I think that, if I get this particular object as a birthday present, because I don't want to buy it for myself, I want somebody else to buy it for me. It's rather expensive. If I get it as a birthday present, my life will be so different. Similarly, if I get this particular title, my life will be great. If I get that job, my life will be completely transformed. And if I get this person in my life that I really, really want to have, then my life will look very different. I am completely satisfied if I get this. This is a dangerous superimposition. It comes from a subjective filter. That's why it is called falling in love, where the word falling is operative. Yeah. Falling means you have no control here. Yeah, despite your best intentions, this something is happening and you are not in control. What a travesty. So sad. So this is, and people get very thrilled about this because people want drama in their lives. No matter how many times I say, please drop the D, have Rama in your life. Don't have drama. Don't be a drama king. Don't be a drama queen. Let the drama quotient go down. In fact, it's very peaceful because you have a nice level life. No, no, no. I want the ups and downs. I want the thrills. If you want thrills, go to an amusement park, okay? Ride the roller coaster and come back. That's easy. Yeah, that's all just $10, $20. You go ride the roller coaster, have an ice cream after the roller coaster, okay? Not before. So, and then come back. Finish. But what is this? You don't make your own life a roller coaster. But this is what it is, gunadhi and doshadhi. Both of them are just tantamount to making the life a roller coaster, because when I have a positive projection, that means that I have put everything in one basket. Everything I have put in one basket, and then of course that person I'm seeing more in that situation, in that person, in that object than what is there. It is looking extra nice to me. It is looking extra nice to me. Why it is looking extra nice to me? Because I desperately need some hope, and I have seen something which my wishful thinking has got. I have painted that person with my own wishful thinking, with the golden paint of my own wishful thinking. Is this or not a setup for disappointment? Yes, it is. Then on the other hand, there are certain things that scare me in life. There are certain things I'm distrustful of because of my past. There are certain things that I don't know how to maneuver in life. There are certain things that remind me of unpleasant situations and people. And of those kinds of things, I am extremely distrustful because I find them annoying or triggering. So I try to stay away from them. This is all based on my own prejudices. So when I paint the world with the paint of my own prejudices, everything looks dull and gray. So when I paint a situation, a person, an event, or an object with the dull paint of my own prejudices, then what will happen? Then also I'm not seeing objectively. The person may be a fine person, but I'm not able to see that because they look like somebody who hurt me in the past. They look like they resemble the primary scare giver, not caregiver, scare giver. You put an S in front of it. So therefore, oh, no, I can't go with this person. This is the idea. And so therefore I avoid certain things and people and situation in life. And then I accept and I'm much more favorable for certain things and situation and people in my life. And what are these people? They are neither good nor bad. They are neither wonderful nor terrible. They are, objectively speaking, they may be a mix of both. But I'm unable to see that because I have painted them with my own prejudices. And in the light of the knowledge, the light of the study of the Vedanta, these prejudices drop. They drop. They drop. And when they drop, clarity comes. You have more of a samadarshi. You are a samadarshi. Samaloštashma kanchanaha, the Bhagavad Gita says. The one who looks upon everything in the same manner. Samaloštashma kanchanaha. Loshta, a lump of clay. Ashma, some metal, iron or something like that, stone. Ashma, I think, is stone, yeah. And then kanchana, gold. Same view for all of them. Same view for all. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmano Gavihastini Shunichaiva Shvapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. There is a nice verse. So, equipped by Vidya. Vidya means self-knowledge. And then Vinaya. Vidya brings in humility. The more you know, the less you know. Because the more you know, you don't know. So that brings in humility. One is not a show off. So equipped by, adorned by Vidya and Vinaya, adorned by knowledge and humility. Then this Pandita, these Pandits, the people who know this, so they have equanimity in how they approach the things of the world. Nothing bedazzles them and nothing at the outset disappoints them. They all take everything in their stride and they are objective. So the sum of the objectivity, how they are objective is given through certain examples. So with reference to the Brahmana, Brahmane, and Brahmana means the one who evokes pleasant associations, because the Brahmana is not bothering anybody, is studying and is just eking out a living, doing puja, etc. And very harmless person. So, oh, bichara, poor thing, going about his or her life. So, it's a pleasant association generally. Gavi, with reference to the cow. Cow, again, a very peaceful thing. Nobody runs away from a cow. Cow will run away from you. But you don't run away from the cow, because it is generally not a harmful creature, unless it has unless it is under duress, or unless you have scared it in some way. It is, so the cow also, you say, oh, how sweet, how nice, there's a favorable feeling. And then Hasti means elephant also very auspicious, favorable, harmless, unless you come under its foot. Don't do that. Then it is harmful, but otherwise it's harmless, totally harmless. So it is easy to be favorable towards all these, but then what about when you see unfavorable things, collectively unfavorable things? Shuni, dog. What kind of dog? Not a nice dog which is coming in the Westminster dog show. Not that kind of dog. What kind of dog? A mongrel, a roadside three-legged dog. The one leg was lost in an accident, and then it has some kind of a disease, mange, and then it is all, its hair is matted, and then it has all kinds of problems. That kind of a dog, if you see, immediately you recoil. Not your own dog, not the kind of dog that is nicely clipped and groomed and sprayed with some nice hair gel and then trotted out in the Westminster dog show. That is easy to love. This is another kind of dog, completely different dog. And then what? Then you just recoil from that kind of a dog, because it is dirty and then you don't know what to do with it. And then you say, oh no, it's wagging its tail. Oh no, it's coming near me. Help! Let me run away. And then if the dog evokes these kinds of things, what about the dog eater? Shwapak means dog cooker, the one who cooks the dogs and eats this, because dogs generally are not eaten. Some places I think they are eaten in some places in Southeast Asia, but generally people don't eat dogs. But here, the dog eater, what kind of grina? Grina means what kind of just this disgust and revulsion that kind of a person creates. Oh my God, can't you find something else to eat? Why do you have to eat a dog? Come on. So, Shuni Chaiva Shvapakecha. So, regardless of whoever greets them, whatever animal, whatever kind of person greets them, Panditaha Samadarshinaha. So these people are all, they have equanimity. And so this equanimity of vision is what is talked about here. So this is because they know that the non-equanimity of vision are all these notions of favorable, unfavorable, good, bad, all these things, avidyatmakam, because it is a product of ignorance. And so they don't go by that at all. Next one. Bhutan kimapi na manute bhavi च किंचन न चिंत्यं ततः pashyati na purovartyapि vastu samastartha samarasah kopi. So, bhutam kimapi na manute. Manute means thinks, does not think of the past. The past does not feature in the life of a yogi. There is no past. The one who has made repast of the past, that is the kind of yogi we are talking about. Why? How? How is this possible? Because what the Shastra says that one is timeless. That is the vision of the Shastra. You are timeless. And if you are timeless, what are you doing dancing with the past? Oh, I wish I had done this. I wish I had studied Vedanta when I was 5. And then by now I would have had self knowledge, maybe even a following. So this kind of a thinking, so strange. And so this is the thinking that one has. And then so this kind of a thinking is not indulged in the both. The past was gone. In fact, when you think of the past, when do you think of it? Now, in the present. So where is the past? Because you are really regurgitating it in the present. And then when you think about the future, bhavi means future. So the future is not a cause for worry. Why is the future not a cause for worry? The future is not a cause for worry because the future is that which is a series of presents. A series of presents make the future, and then when the future comes, what is it? It is the present. So there is no such thing called future. It is the spoof of time. We saw this in the study of this text called Saddarshanam, Ramana Maharshi. Bhutam cha bhavishyat cha bhavat swakale. And then tad vartamanam vihaya हास्यान किम स्यात् गतभावि चर्चा विनैक संख्याम गणनैव लोके. Isn't it laughable? Ramana Maharshi says, isn't it totally hilarious? What is hilarious is a group of mathematicians in a convention of the mathematics conference. They're all seriously discussing an equation. And then they're not able to solve the equation. Why? Because they forgot to use the number 1. So without the numeral 1, they are trying to solve a big equation. Hasyana kim syat. Isn't it funny? So similarly, just like the person trying to talk about the past and the future without remaining and understanding oneself as the truth, as the content of the present, as the truth of the present. So this is the same idea that is kept here. Bhavina kinchan chintyantataha, and then pashyati na purovarti api. So then what about the present? So then I should catch hold of the present, right? I should just be with the present. No, the present is you. You don't catch hold of yourself because you are not an object that is to be caught hold of. You cannot catch hold of the present because it is you. So that which happens in the present also escapes the jnani because the happening is not away from him or her, and that the jnani is not away from the event. The jnani is timeless. So time collapses into the jnani, emerges from the jnani, sustained by the jnani. Time is non-separate from the jnani. The jnani is not separate from time. The time is something which is non-separate from the yogi, but the yogi is not subject to time. Yogi is timeless. That is the idea. Oh, but the yogi also dies. Body of the yogi dies. Yogi is timeless. That which was inhabiting the yogi, that indweller, that is timeless. And that is what one has to understand. There is no time involved in this at all. So this is the idea. Next one. Nigrihita khilakaranah nimrishta shesha vishayeha triptimanuttama simam praptah paryatiti kopi yativaryah kopi paryatati. So some yogi roams around. How? And there are three kinds of adjectives to how adjectives to how the yogi is. What is this kind of a yogi who roams around? So they are not they're not adjectives really. They are adjectives that qualify the yogi. So the yogi is such and such. Who is the yogi? Nigrihit akhila karanaha. Akhila samastam. Akhilam means samastam. Samastam means all, total. So nigrihita means the one who has full say over the sense organs and the organs of action. The one who is not swayed by the mind, swayed by the senses. And this is how it is in this time of multitasking and so many things to do. So one starts to say, oh, I need to now respond to all my emails. And then, oh, let me look what's happening in the world. Oh, and then you just open another application to see what is happening there. And then that leads you to somewhere else. There it says, oh, here is the recipe for chocolate cake. Oh, chocolate cake. I want chocolate cake. Well, let's see which shop will be open. And when I'll happen alone, having it alone is very boring. I should call up a friend and then I should make a date. Then if I don't call now, nobody will be available. So let me call right now. And then you take the phone, you try to call, and then what? And then all the mails and all the work that you set out to do is just gone, forgotten. Oh, I'll do them some other day. Some other day is also not any better. So then when we talk of the organs, or the sense organs and the organs of action, both of them are there. And both of them are involved. So the organs of action means the legs have a mind of their own and they start running towards the object of desire. And the hands also go reach for something like this. So the organs of actions are first trained to sit still. So Yukta Cheshtaha, the Bhagavad Gita describes the person called Yukta Cheshtaha. Yukta Cheshtaha means the person who has appropriate movements, not unnecessary movements, where the karmendriyas are under one's management. And the sense organs are also under one's management. One doesn't just go where the mind takes you, because otherwise the sankalpa, every sankalpa is in the danger of becoming very, very fickle. Everything is very fickle. Now this, now that, I'll go here, I'll go there, and I'll do this, I'll do that. And so one is not able to pursue carefully what the matter is. What the matter is. Okay? One is not able to pursue carefully what the matter is. Then, so the one who has a say over the sense organs, who can manage the sense organs and the organs of actions, they don't run away and then take this person, abduct this person and take them along with them. Meaning, with regard to the sense objects, there is a restraint. One is not always being under the spell of various things, objects of delight, and one is not running away either from the objects of distrust and disgust. One is simply is. That is the idea. So, nigrihita akhila karanaha. So, these are words that describe the jnani. So, for the one for whom all the organs of action and the sense organs are nicely managed. That is the idea. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, we have a parallel for this. And that parallel, I think it is there in the second chapter. Kurmonganiva sarvashaha. So, just like there is a nice metaphor of the tortoise. When the tortoise, is startled, what does it do? It withdraws its organs into its shell. So it's not that the yogi is startled. That's not the idea. But the thing is, the metaphor or the example is limited here. It's just about the ability to retract the sense organs and the organs of action at will. That is the idea. At will, one is able to retract the organs and the organs of action and the sense organs, just like the turtle or the tortoise is able to withdraw its limbs unto oneself, unto itself. That is a hallmark of the jnani. So all the sense organs and the organs of action, the jnani is able to withdraw unto oneself. And not really, the heart is not given away to something over there, and the eyes are not roaming around somewhere else. Wandering eyes are not there, wandering mind is not there, wandering heart is not there. Everything is right here, right now, fully present, without an agenda. That's the idea. How is one able to tame the sense organs? Because they are not having an agenda. They are not wanting to pursue the sense object or anything like that. They are not having any agenda other than just to be. And why is that? That is the result of Vedanta Jnanam. That is the result of Vedanta. This is what it is. So then that is the first qualification here, and that is the ascetic here. Then Nimrishta, Nishtayena, Mrishtaha, Ashesha, Vishaya, Iha. Iha means desire. Iha, desire. And then Nimrishta means wiped out, swept up away, mopped up. Ashesha, without any residue. The buddhi is clean, sparkling clean, wiped out of any residue of desires. So the jnani is one for whose buddhi is wiped out of any residue of desires. There is no desire, there is no agenda. Give me this, give me that, I want this, I want that, I wish for this, I wish it was that. No regret, no agenda, nothing. And then triptim anuttama simam praptah. So therefore the one who has gained, praptah, the one who is the master of, the one who has gained what? Anuttama simam triptim. Triptim, contentment. The contentment beyond measure. The one who has contentment beyond measure, that is the kind of yati we are discussing in this particular Atma Vidya Vilasa. Next one. Santyajati nopapannam नासम्पन्नं च वाञ्छति क्वापि स्वस्थश्चेते यतिराड् आन्तरामानन्द अनुभवन्नेकः. So, santyajati na upapannam. Na upapannam. Upapannam means that which comes. Santyajati does not give up. That which comes is just taken. And that includes prarabdha karma. Meaning anything because of karma which comes, the yati takes in his or her stride. The ascetic takes in stride whatever comes. If something favorable comes, well and good. Agate swagatam. Okay, welcome. And if it goes away, bye-bye. No problem at all. And this is the kind of the demeanor. In the Bhagavad Gita also we have, in the 12th chapter, the same kinds of things you will find. You will find a mini Atma Vidya Vilasa from verses 14 to 20 in the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. You will find all these qualities. Yo na dveshti na kankshati, na hrishyati. And na shochati, na hrishyati, na shochati, does not rejoice, does not repent. And then na dveshti, does not hate, na kankshati, does not expect something to come. That is the idea. And the same things, all the from 14 to 20, you will have a small gist of everything that is being talked here in 60 odd verses. So santyajati na upapannam. Whatever has been gained does not say, oh, I don't want, I'm away from all this, I am a yogi and I shouldn't have this. No, there is one story. And I have never understood this story. I think it says more about the student than about the guru. It's a Guru Shishya story. So the Shishya wanted to test the Guru, the disciple. And so the disciple put some gold coins under the Guru's bed and thought that if the Guru spends a sleepless night, that means the Guru is a real Guru because the Guru is rejecting gold. This is just the Shishya's projection. Why should the Guru reject gold? It's just one more metal. Why should the Guru is not hoarding gold, neither is the Guru rejecting gold. But this is the same idea. It is this funny ideas people have. So the Shishya had a projection that if my Guru is a real Guru, he will reject gold. So the Guru wakes up and the Shishya looks, oh, are the eyes red? Is the Guru not slept very well? And then, so now, in terms of the answer of the Guru, we can have two scenarios. One scenario, let's say the Guru had some indigestion because he did not eat properly or something was bothering him. He has acid in the stomach, so he did not sleep well. So then he could have said, no, I slept terribly. And the Shishya goes away happy. Oh, my Guru is the true Guru. Without really inquiring into why the Guru did not sleep well. Or we could have scenario number 2. The Guru said, I slept like a log. That means what? The Shishya is disappointed and goes away. Of course, after retrieving the gold coins back. So the Shishya goes away disappointed. But silly Shishya, really. Because either of these are not the qualifications of the teacher. So if somebody gives the Guru gold coins, I mean, they'll say, okay, fine, keep it. They may not, there's no, I'm supposed to not be I'm supposed to not be attached. That means you're attached. If you say, I'm not attached, I should stay away from all this, that means you're afraid that you will come under the spell and go gambling or something like that with those coins. That's the idea. So here, there is no, so whatever comes, let it come. Honor comes, let it come. Dishonor comes, let it come. Prarabdha karma, the karma that is there to be exhausted in this body, when good karma comes, good food comes, let it come. Bad food comes or no food comes, that is also okay, let it come. That is how the yati lives. So, na asampannancha vanchati. Asampannam means not gained. So the one who doesn't have something, the sage is not longing. Oh, look at the other guru, so many followers, and hardly any people come to me. And then, oh, look at that one, has such a huge ashram. What's wrong with me? Why I don't have this? This kind of a thing is not there. This kind of a thing is not there at all. Not even a lesha, not even a residue of this kind of a thing is there. So, yona dveshti na kankshati, the Bhagavad Gita says. Shubha shubha parityagi. Meaning the all idea of this is auspicious, this is inauspicious, those notions are given up. And then swastashete. That's why calmly sleeps. Where does the Yatirad, the king of Yati, sleeps? Where does the Yatirad sleep? Where does the king of sages sleep? Antaram anandam anubhavan. Antaram anandam anubhavan ekaha. So this Yatirad, the king of the sages, sleeps enjoying the inner ananda. Inner Ananda means it is Ananda which comes out also. There is no need to say inner, except here they want to make a distinction between things outside which one depends on for one's Ananda, whereas one's own Ananda, that is the result of the study of Vedanta. That is the idea. I think we have covered all this. Then कामपि विमलां पदवीम् आसाद्यानन्दसंविदुं निद्राम् आस्ते भिक्षुक एकः विहरन् मुक्तबन्धनस्वैरम् स्वैरम् at will. Aste remains, and then remains at will. How? Nirmukta bandha. Remains how? Viharan, remains moving around. Viharan aste, that goes together. Viharan aste, remains moving around. Ekaha, ekaha bhikshukaha, one mendicant. One mendicant who lives on alms, moves around, remains moving around. How? Nirmukta, vinirmukta bandha, free of all bondage. Naturally, because if one is not running after what one wants, half the life goes in running after what one wants. And then the other half the life goes in getting rid of what one doesn't want, running away from what one doesn't want. No wonder one is exhausted. You ask anybody these days, how are you? I just am so tired. I'm just so tired. They never say wonderful. I'm just so tired. I'm kind of tired. And then, oh, when can I become retired? Because I'm already tired. Even before one is retired, one is tired. And why? Because this is useless running around, just running, get this, and then get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. What is this madness? But this is what it is. So without that, vinirbhuktaha, bandha muktaha. So mukta bandhanaha. So free, this yati is free of all notion of bondage. There is no bondage at all. We were free, and one is not bound to have certain things. One is not trying to get rid of certain other things, and then one is not trying to have keep certain things that one already has, and one is not trying to keep at bay what one doesn't have and what one doesn't want, like wrinkles, gray hair, etc. One is not trying to keep at bay. I want to look young, and I want to be like this, and all these things. And so, since that pressure is not there, naturally one moves around freely, and there is no pressure. Oh, I have to. It's just like when one is driving from place to place. So you have to make sure that you reach the hotel by night. There is a pressure. Oh, I have to finish driving. So let's see how many miles you calculate. Okay, let us look at Google. See where is the hotel. Which hotel? Okay, nice hotel it should be, and it should have all my creature comforts. It should have good food. It should have nice ambience, and it should have a good bed, and it should be clean. Okay, this town has this particular chain of hotels I like. And so this town is 4 or 5 hours away, and darkness is 6 hours away. Oh, perfect. So this is how one makes all these things. I better book the hotel now itself. Because if I don't book, what if the rooms are taken? So much pressure, so much anxiety. And let's say the rooms are taken, you booked. Either you didn't get them on the phone and you went there and the rooms were taken, or you found out beforehand the rooms were taken. Oh, now I have to find something else. Oh, the other hotels are terrible and they are bad, and I don't want to stay anywhere, and I'll not have a good night, and then tomorrow I won't be able to drive. Look at all these things. All this pressure, so much pressure one puts oneself under. But for the yati, oh, I'm carrying my pillow. Where? Right here. The shoulder is the pillow. The arm is the pillow. I have a nice down, soft pillow, which is my arm. And then what? I am carrying my duvet. What? It is the sky. It is carrying itself. And my bed is all rolled out for me. What? It is Mother Earth. Is my bed. It is already rolled out for me. And everything is right there. So it's just like, it's just like animals. Animals don't, you see the animals also migrate. In South Africa, they go. And the carnivores go after the herbivores because the zebra and the elephant and all the buffaloes and all migrate in search of water. And the cats, the big cats, the cheetahs, the cheetahs and the lions and the tigers and the jaguars, they also migrate because lunch is going, dinner is going. They also migrate. So when they at night they sleep wherever there is, they just find a general wooded area, they sleep. Okay, they may not sleep on the ground if they have a choice. There is a little patch of grass, they sleep. They don't book, they don't make a reservation. And the bird also builds its nest like that. It doesn't say, I'm going to migrate anyway. Why should I invest in this nest? No, it will build a nice nest, like the weaver bird's nest. So beautiful it is. And it is lined with the softest of fur. Where? In the bedroom. And in the living room, there is a nice couch. And in the dining room, there are nice chairs and tables and everything. Wonderful nest. Then the young ones, it lays the eggs, and the young ones, they hatch, and it feeds them and raises them. It teaches them to fly. Then they fly away, and the next migration season comes. And then what? It doesn't say, I think I should rent out this condo, 2-story condo. Yeah, I should give it a paid job and stage it nicely, and then I should rent it out. It's prime real estate, tree view, leaf view, mountain view. It doesn't say that. It just says, oh, Bhagavan has given me the ability to make another nest the next year. I don't need to rent out this nest because I'm not worried about a nest egg. That's what it is. I'm not worried about having something. No, I can let go because I can build this again. And so it'll just, even prime time real estate nest is just abandoned for us to admire and see and find out how the weaver bird builds it, to find out how intricate it is. It is dedicated for the cause of science, botany, biology, zoology. It is given for that. And it goes. It doesn't have a care in the world. It doesn't say, oh, let me take out my cell phone. Did they pay rent? The other bird. Cheap, cheap, cheap. You need to pay rent. You are so cheap. You need to pay rent. It doesn't say that. No care in the world. Like this, the yati is part of this natural law. Awake, alive, not animalistic, not instinctual. Very much, the buddhi is there, the mind is there, but it is given to the highest cause. That is uniting with the truth of oneself as whole, as free from all limitations. So therefore, there is no care. There's no worry about what's going to happen. There are nothing to guard. And this is what the Kathopanishad also says, that there is nothing at all to guard. There's nothing to protect. Na kaschit gopaitum ichchati. And na vijigupsate. This is what it says. Na kaschit gopaitum ichchati. There's nothing to protect. There's nothing to hide. And so therefore, the free of all bonds. So, kamapi vimalam padavim asadhya. So how does this sage manage to be free of bonds? Kamapi vimalam padavim, gaining the status. What is that status? The status is the status is called the self-knowledge. That is the status. So that limitless knowledge of oneself is the status. So having gained that, Padavim asadhya, having gained Vimalam. Vimalam means that is pure and free of all guilt, hurt, pain, sorrow, papa, punya, nothing. It is just a limitless understanding of oneself. Having gained that, then ananda, samvid, unnidra. So samvit is Atma. So that Atmananda having gained that, unnidra means free of the stupor of Atma Ajnana. Atma Ajnanam is described as the stupor. Freed of the stupor of Atma Ajnanam. So this ut, the upasarga, the prefix called ut means like kind of a uprooting, So freed of that stupor, freed of nidra, doesn't mean insomniac. No. Always ever alert to the truth of oneself, not in the stupor of self-ignorance. Freed of the stupor of self-ignorance, the yogi moves around, remains moving around freely. Then the next one, Vastunyastamitākhila Vishvavihare Vilinamanaha Rajati Paranapekshah Rajakhila Vitaragana Vitaragana. So, Vitaragana Raja. Akhila Vitaraganam Raja Rajati. The king shines. Rajate, Rajati, the king shines. Who is the king? The king among all the people who have freed themselves from raga and dvesha. So the Vitaraganam means Vitaraga. Vitaraga. This is also from this thing. Vitaraga bhayakrodha. Sthitadhihi munihi uchyate. This is also there in the Bhagavad Gita. The word Vitaraga. Vitaraga bhayakrodha. Vitaraga means from whom all raga and dvesha, and in the Bhagavad Gita, fear and the krodha, anger, have departed. So who is that? The person who is free. So the person who is free. So if you bring a whole thousands of such people who are free of their raga dveshas, this one that is being described is the king of all of them. Shines, has excelled all of them. Meaning 1 in 1,000 of renunciants who have let go of strong preferences and let go of strong prejudices. That is the person. So then Rajate. How Rajate means shines. How? Para anapekshaha. Yeah, anapekshaha. Anapekshaha means apeksha na vidyate yasya. So for the one, there is no expectation. I want this, I'll get this, etc. Para anapekshaha means not dependent on anyone else. Not dependent on anyone. Para is anyone else. So not depend anapekshaha. This again, the word anapekshaha is also describing the jnani in the Bhagavad Gita. Anapekshaha shuchir dakshaha udasinaha gatavyataha. Like this, that word also comes there. So anapekshaha, free from expectations of others. That as soon as you see somebody else, then immediately some some expectation comes. Oh, they are coming. Okay, what can I make them do for me? No. Oh, what can I do? How can they help me? How can they take care of me? How can I make use of them in the future? Not that not that I'm some kind of a mean person. I will also be of help to them. But first I want to know how will they be of use to me? The sage does not think like that. Somebody asked my guru, Pujya Swamiji, what is the difference between you and me? A very bold question. Very bold question. And Swamiji said, well, I don't know about who you are or what you are, because it was the first time Swamiji was meeting him. So then he said, but I know myself. And whenever I see somebody for the first time, I just tell, the first thought that occurs to me is, how can I be of use to this person? rather than how can this person be of use to me. So this is what is called paranapekshaha. Paranapekshaha. Anapekshaha means not really dependent upon someone else. Nobody else is there to have this, nobody else is there. It's not that they are not there, but they are not really targeted as a possible place of wish fulfillment. That is not there, including Bhagavan. No, they are not really looking for wishes to be fulfilled, because those wishes, are already fulfilled. How? By the truth of knowing themselves. So, how did this happen? Because the person is vilina manaha. Vilina manaha means the one whose mind is absorbed. One whose mind is absorbed. Vilina, absorbed. Absorbed, resolved. So has resolved. Where vastu, so vastu nyastam, vastuni astam, astamita akhila vishwa vihare vilina manaha. So, Vastuni Astamakhila Vishwa Vihare. So, Vastuni means with reference to all kinds of worldly things. Vastu, things in the world. So, things in the world, Astamita. Astamita means that, it has come to a standstill. The sun has set on the desire for these kinds of vastus. So Vishwavihare means that this is the way of the world. Vishwavihara means all the kinds of worldly activities and the objects that become the center of all these activities. All of them have just resolved. So Vishwavihare. So then the person, the mind is merged in what? In that in which all the things in the world have resolved, and then in all the activities of the world has resolved. That reality in which the sage is absorbed. That is the sage that is being described here. The sage who is being described is immersed their mind and their very being in that reality that is free of object, free of subject, and free of any interaction between object and subject. That is the idea. Free of object subject differences, free of all wants. This is different from me, that is something I want, that's something somebody else wants, and nothing is there like that. And so the truth of the object is me, and the truth of the subject is me. The content of the object is I as Brahman, and the content of the subject is also I as Brahman. And here is where the mind is absorbed. The mind is that absorbed in that indescribable reality, which is the truth of the subject and the object without becoming either. Okay, yeah. So this seems like a good place to stop, because we have studied a lot this morning. And so we will come back again 6 o'clock Indian time, whatever else your time is, 4:30 Western USA, and then what? 7:30, I think, in the East Coast. All right. So then I will see you there. We will have the last session at that time. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Swamini for yet another wonderful
Thank
session.
you. Thank you very much.
Viewers, evening it will be 6 p.m. India time, and
Yes.
whatever questions you may be having, please bring it with you for the evening session, and Swamini will definitely take it once she finishes the whole thing. Yes.
One question there you already answered. Is the time 6 p.m.? Yes, it is. If you are in India, the time is 6 p.m. All right. Yeah. Om. All
Oh.
the best. Take
Okay,
care.
so with this, we conclude this session. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha.
Yes.